Yeah. Okay. Attempt 2. We
We're
are
unmuted.
unmuted. Take it away,
Okay.
Exia. You can try
All
that
right.
intro again, buddy.
Hello, everybody. I was muted, but hello, everybody. Welcome to the awaited qualifiers reveal for the Resurrection Cup of 2024. So we have a ton of stuff to go through, as well as the round of 32 Mappool showcase coming right after the qualifiers reveal. So I say welcome again, and I'm also joined with iFlame to reveal the seeds. So how are you doing, iFlame?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm no longer muted, and this is going to be a fun tournament. There's a lot of good teams. There's actually a good amount of variety, too. Some pretty well-balanced teams, some teams that I think could make some flashes, but let's get right into it. We have 49 teams that qualified, and of course, somebody has to be last. So the last two teams we don't have graphics for, but Team 49 is going to be 1,000 days without passing qual. They had a rough time. Seed 48 is going to be Crypto Academy. They unfortunately did not do fantastic either. But for Team 47 and onward, we can show you guys those team scores. We've got Team Seed 47, Guild Cheese. Pretty rough scores all around. They had decent performances from some players, but again, nothing special. A lot of these teams we're going to go through pretty quickly up until 32, because it's a lot of 5-digit, 6-digit players that joined the tournament for fun, but didn't get too many good scores in qualifying. Let's go. Number 46, we've got 7 digits undercover. Pretty much the same story as the previous team. In number 45, we have got wannabe, Vietnamese, Australian, 3 players that did not play. They could have maybe placed a little bit higher, but yeah, it's pretty tough when you only have 5 players. In seed 44, we have got Norma Czech. Again, 2 players that didn't play. Hidden Dagger had a solid performance, but unfortunately was not enough. Seed 43, we have got Yux, 1 player who did not play this time. North Sign had a solid performance, otherwise pretty average scores all around. In seed 42, we have got W, and unfortunately, not going to be a W this time around.
No.
Chromasia did not play, which is a little unfortunate for them, because Chromasia, if I'm thinking of the right person, is a very strong tournament player that would have put up some solid scores for them and probably would have been their big carry and best player by quite a bit. Not sure if it would have been enough to qualify, but definitely hurt them quite a bit there, not having Chromasia in. At number seed 41, we have got Homeo. Once again, Boine putting up some good scores, but not quite enough. Rounding out our top 40, we slowly approach the top 32 teams. So, these are the teams that could have made it, but unfortunately fell short. Eddie with a very solid performance, 110th individual score, with a very solid 500k on No Mod 1, but didn't have the team there to back it up. In C39, Exia, only 5 players on this team.
We only got 5 players, which is very, very solid for what they did here. It's 39 Cocky Smurf. Not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but yeah, good performance. And FC from Dados, 123 on the Nomad 2. Top 4 score in Nomad 2. Very solid score, but not enough to overall get them through the qualifier line.
Yeah, so hard to qualify well with that many players. And in seed 38, we have got Pacify voted EFF. Once again, only 6 players on the team. Irel had some decent scores with a No Mod 1 FC, but they just fell short. Next up, in seed 37, Fire in V. Once again, Justan did not play. We have Metalis, Fangirl, and Sunoxa was the big carry for this team. It nearly got them there, especially with some very solid scores on the No Mods, but didn't quite make it. C36. This team was 4 placements off qualifying. All my homies hit circles. Once again, 3 players that did not play, so they actually put up quite a solid performance considering they only had 5 players. They had Escrew Pulilo, was the big carry, 85th individual, and put up big scores on maps like Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock, and Hard Rock 2. nearly the FC on the DT1 and some really solid DT2 and 3 scores as well. Feels like they really just needed maybe one more carry player on that team to get them through to the qualifiers. Team 35, Exia.
We got Napadini, Somov. We have some pretty solid scores. A lot of these players. We have 111 IQ with an 83 placement, trying to carry his team to the victory. But with the two players that are absent during this, they did not get to the qualifiers, and were only 3 spots off for that place in the bracket stage. Anyway, seed 34, we have Marisa TF2. And we have a pretty well-rounded team here, but 2 spots off. A very good team score on Noma 1, and as well a good team score on Hard Rock 2, but not enough to get themselves through the seeding of the bracket stage. But last team that is WDNMD. Interesting name, but a lot of all-around scores. No carries here. A lot of good team scores, but unfortunately 1 seed off, and is unfortunately going to be eliminated from the tournament. And now we have the qualified teams, iFlame.
Yep, that is devastating. Finishing in C33, I believe they were something like 0.17 off in terms of the Z sum score, which means if you have not seen your name yet and you played in qualifiers, you are in the first round of Resurrection Cup. So let's see the team seeded 32nd, fated to face the seed 1. It is going to be Kabare Sasariosu, and some big names on this one. I think this is the first team we've seen so far that has some really big carry names. Defon's notably getting number 44 individual. Had some really solid no-mod scores and just solid scores across the board. Revoken not playing as well did hurt them a lot. I think Revoken is probably the second best player on this team. The supporting combos were really not there. They're not super strong. So this is really the Defon show. Moving on to C31, we have got Doge, GS Blank. Very, very strong player. Put up a very good performance for them. Very well known for the Hard Rock gameplay especially, as well as some of the DT picks. And so they did, of course, have 3 players actually, not playing. So this is the kind of team that, of course, going up against Seed 2 will have a very tough time early on. But I do think they can outplace their qualifier seeding.
Anyways, seed number 30, we have AIM with incredibly good all-around scores. Very good team scores all around, significantly on the Hard Rocks. Not the hard. The DTs, DT2 being pretty high considering that score is on that 30 seed. AIM is going to. So seed 29, Menhir Maho Among Us, and we got a lot of all-around scores, good team scores, good players, just building that team, but nothing significant, just getting over the qualifier line.
Yeah, and you start to see a little bit more consistency at this point in the seeding. You notice you've got more players kind of approaching that top 100 individual performance, and at this point you really need either one big carry or at least a few people in that top 100 to outseed from here on out. At seed 28, we have El Hambre y las Ganas de Comer. I don't speak Spanish. I'm relying on my French a little bit, so hopefully I pronounced that okay. Big carry for this team is going to be Pee Poo Poo. Fantastic name right there.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me say that on stream. It's 56 individual though. Very solid performance. Not a lot of support. You do have Koshi, who did not play. But decent team all around. They looked especially good on the no-mods, but did struggle with the hidden 2, that lower AR, as well as with some of the Hard Rocks. The DT1, a very strong score, number 17 overall there, is really good to see.
Nearly 1 FC on that team, but yeah. 27th seed, Jet Syria, Daiforzenzung. I do not speak any German or Russian, whatever that language is, but yeah, incredible team scores. Their carry, Yiso, with some incredible performances, especially in the DT1s. Almost FCing that DT1. A little fall off on the mechanics, but yeah. And we have one player, Saint SFT, that did not play, so considering that could also be another factor to get their qualifier seed a little bit higher. So yeah, now
Flay is quite strong as well on some of the mechanics hits, notably getting 800k on the No Mod 1 was a big boost for them, putting them up to number 16 on that No Mod 1, but really struggled with the hiddens with the Hard Rocks, so the modded category is going to be a big point of weakness for this team going forward. At number 26, we have got Cowabunga, and a couple solid players here. You've got Majiro McQueen, who not the best performance in this seed reveal, but I know has put up some very solid scores, especially on those low AR picks. You of course have Daitaku Helios, was the big carry this time around, and really struggled with some of the no mod picks. Had really strong hiddens, getting 22nd, 20th, and 18th. And then a couple decent Hard Rock scores as well to put them in 26th.
Seed 25, we have RX 5600 XE with the duo Soft Kitty and Soft Kitten putting up some okay scores, but the carry going to be absolutely destined, getting some absolutely amazing scores on the hidden 3, getting 27th, and some of the Hard Rocks as well. Decent Hard Rock scores, but as well as getting number 4 on DT2, which is going to get their team score and as well as their seeding pretty high up on this list.
Yeah, the number 34 No Mod 3 and the number 36 Hidden 2 really tanking the seeding quite a bit on this one, but otherwise solid scores all around. Seed 24, we have got Kill Burn Pirates, My Hand 3, putting up some really solid scores, notably on the No Mod 1. But this team had some struggles on the DTs, notably that Hard Rock 1, number 43. Was really rough, but some very big scores as well. Number 8 on the Hidden 2. That is going to be our first score so far in qualifiers that cracks the top 16. So this is a team you're going to want to ban out the low AR picks against. They had relatively average scores on the No Mods and the Hard Rock. So if you're going up against the Kaleburn Pirates, you know exactly what to ban out. C23.
Super Hamburger. We got some incredible all-round plays, but Schiazzo with a 38 individual placement, getting some incredible scores, such as a near FC on that No Mod 1, a near FC on that Hard Rock 2, placing 5th on that, and some team scores tanking from the unfortunate mishaps from teammates, as well as that No Mod 2, a lot of 100Ks on that team score there, but Schiazzo getting very good scores here, and also Do Not Play from Weasel Osu, which is going to take their qualifier score a little bit, but all good. They're at C23, which is pretty good for them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt a little bit. Wessel Osu 2 is definitely one of their better players, but, we're starting to see some teams that this is kind of a high variance team, right? You see quite a few scores in the top 16, and then quite a few scores that, as you mentioned, Exia, are really down there close to number 30. So very high variance. This team is going to have very clear maps that they want to pick, very clear maps they want to ban. C22, we've got Germany, OWCB, and we've got a very, very strong performance from Rui. 24th overall individual performance. Very impressive stuff. Notable scores, including about almost 600k on the No Mod 1 and the No Mod 2, as well as a solid DT scores all around. This team had very strong No Mod 1 and No Mod 2, 14th and 11th. But did struggle a bit more, unfortunately, with the hiddens and some of the DTs as well. Getting 31st on the DT1, but 19th and 16th on the DT2 and 3.
Moving on to the 24th seed is Pejni Bamboo. Sorry if I mispronounced that first word, but yeah, incredible, just all-around scores from each individual players. You have two missing players, which is going to tank a little bit, but Painted Koala being the carry for this team, getting some absolutely crazy scores on DT1, a near FC, but a little bit of choke at the end, but nothing too significant. Just a lot of the team scores just bringing out each average for the qualifiers, getting them to C21 is not too shabby.
Yeah, this is an interesting team. I feel like on paper, this is a team that could have placed a little bit higher. Painted Koala obviously had a great performance, but yep, they have who's very strong on the hiddens and the mechanics picks. Flamesteer is very good on the mechanical picks as well. And so I could very easily see, especially in the early rounds, those 3 players, Flamesteer, Koala, and Yip, as well as some of the other players, could put up some really strong scores in the earlier rounds. Now, on to the top 20. We have got Rustics, and there isn't really one standout carry. You've got Q3U as well as Dahushka putting up solid scores, but this is much more of a team effort, it feels like. They've got pretty consistent scores on the Nomads, ranging from 17 to 23, but really across the board. That's the 13 on the Hard Rock 1s and 3s, so Hard Rock is going to be their best mods, whereas DT, their worst by a little bit, but overall, they're placing fairly consistently. It doesn't feel like they have any super clear weaknesses or any maps that are must bans necessarily.
Yeah, incredible scores from here. But now into the 19th seed, Cute Kittens. And we can already see an obvious carry from Defy here. Oh, very solid tournament player. 3-digit as well, but nice scores, as well as that Nomad 4 getting number 6 overall of the entire tournament. And a little bit of a misfall on the Hard Rocks, but you have your teammates to help you out on that average there, with Clash of Clans getting a good score on Hard Rock 1 with 583k, 18th place. But there's not a lot of solid carry players here except for Defy, but a lot of all-rounder players just help balance out the team scores a lot, but a little bit of tanking on some of these.
Yeah, you got a half Italian team, 4 of the players on the team being Italian, and yeah, honestly, with those scores, they could have placed quite a bit higher if it wasn't for that Nomad 1 score. I mean, just looking at the stats, they were very, very close to the 17th and 18th seeded teams. And so had they had a Nomad 1 score on par with the rest of their maps, they probably would have been, a lock-in for that 17th seed. But not going to be the case this time around. At number 18, we have got DJ Remen Successo, and we've got Fie, as you would expect, with a pretty solid performance. This is another kind of team effort. You, of course, had 3 players that did not play, so 18th with only 5 players is very impressive. But it's a solid team effort. You've got 4 different players all placing in the top 100 individually. You've got some, honestly, some rough scores on the Nomads, but very good performances on some of the Hiddens and the Hard Rocks, getting number 5 on the Hard Rock to the first top 5 score we've seen, and a little bit rough on the DTs as well. And I have to imagine when they get some of those did not play players back when we get into the tournament, they're going to be looking a lot stronger on the Nomads and the DTs. So certainly can't underestimate those skills for this team.
Yeah, just the team scores from the Nomads and the DTs is bringing this qualifier seed just a little bit down. But anyways, into our next seed, Sed Fedoffs and One Turk. Incredible scores, and especially we're getting to more of the higher individually ranked players such as Koho with a rank of 27th, and especially some good scores on Nomad 3 and Nomad 4, but nothing too shabby. DT1 with a near FC, falling off a little bit on the Hard Rocks, but you still got some incredible team scores coming out from your other teammates. And with these team scores, you have a pretty solid placement on your DTs, as well as a DT3 FC, the first FC we have seen the entire qualifiers reveal, with a Liar getting that DT3 FC, which is going to carry their qualifier seed pretty much into the 17th, and which is pretty solid for all of these players.
Yeah, I think this team has a very clear core 3 in Liar, Raikuhu, and Clutch. This is the team that those 3 players have put up a lot of really strong tournament performances lately in quite a few open ranked tournaments. So I'm excited to see what they can do. Notably, I feel like this team could be quite strong on some of the aim control focused picks, but it's time to find out who their opponent will be in the first seed as we get into the top half of teams. 16th. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. We have got a Polish team here. I believe it is entirely Polish, with BMG getting playing well as Tardis, who was 32nd individual overall. Really impressive stuff. Getting just a 760k on the DT1 and 900k on the DT3. But this is a pretty well-rounded team. You see a lot of players here contributing. Notably, 9th on the Nomad 3 is very impressive. Had some really strong hidden scores, being 10th and 12th on hidden 2 and 3 respectively, but definitely struggled a little bit more with some of the Hard Rock 3s. Number 8 on DT3 as well. It's good to see.
Yeah, and we can see a lot of more 2-digit individual placements are coming up with these. But now, into Seed 15, Nipis Madu, and some incredible performances. A lot of these players are going to be all-rounded. Wispy not having a great performance there, a little bit of dragging down, but only on the DT3 is going to be that score that he's had. Not a lot of standout scores for these players. A Nomad 3 600k from Spine Knights to get themselves into the 10th of Nomad 3, but considering that their placement is pretty balanced, except for that Hard Rock 2 getting an incredible team score with Spy Knights again getting that 792k for a 4th placement on that individual Hard Rock 2 score. But as you can see,
Yeah.
just a lot of all-around scores, except that Hard
Yeah,
Rock
it's
2 just made them up.
our first top 3 score that we've seen so far, as you mentioned. And so, once again, this is another team that if you have to play against them, you know exactly what to ban, looking towards that Hard Rock 2. But very notably, this team did not have Lights Out. Lights Out is a fairly strong tournament player, is a rank 162 global, so that's a pretty high skill cap player on this team. And I think the addition of Lights Out in the previous rounds of the tournament is going to make them a very, very tough opponent for the 18th seeded team. But we'll have to see how it goes. On to Seed 14, we have got Rich Penguins, quite a few strong players, Rudge, Fire Rage, Flaro, Umbre as well. And I mean, even though Kuromi didn't play as well as Zhang Wuyang, while they are both very good players, just looking at this team on paper, even without those players, I mean, you have to feel like Rudge, Flaro, Fiery, and Umbre, even Haunt. These are mostly all players that have played in the World Cup and performed well, have had tons of success in open rank tournaments, and are some of the best tournament players around. I'm pretty shocked they didn't place higher. They were number 9 on the Nomad 1, did not have a good time on the Nomad 2, placing 20th. And it really was a couple of those Hard Rocks in the Hard Rock 1 and 2, as well as the DT 1 and 2 that dropped their score down a little bit. Zhang Wuyang is a tough player to miss, is one of the stronger South Korean players that you see performing well on all the South Korean teams. And so that'll definitely help them out quite a bit. But even then, this team feels pretty underseeded to me.
Yeah, pretty underseeded, as well as Ji Wong Yoon. Try to miss this qualifiers match is pretty important because the DTs could be a little bit more higher than they should have. But yeah, this team and Kuromi as well, just missing is out. Just getting a little bit more scores, just lower team scores as usual. But now on to C13 as we get higher into the list and more formidable players appear. We got Karamba Chile, very confident players, and we see our first top 10 player in individual scores, Korean Malaku. Incredible scores across the board, especially a 539k on that hidden one for a 6th placement, and as well as an incredible speed score on that DT2 for a 7th placement. But there's a lot of breakout scores here, a lot of great individuals, as well as Yukari Smug, 86 on his individual scores, getting some good scores here.
Yeah, some very impressive scores, like you said. And this is going to be the Brazilian-Chilean team. You got 4 Brazilian players, 4 Chilean players, and this is a pretty strong team once again. A lot of these players have played quite a few open rank tournaments. Korean Maluko is just an incredibly well-rounded player. But this team, to me, strikes me as a very strong mechanics team. I know Yukari Smug is incredibly strong on some of those more aim-focused pick. And Korean Maluko as well is a player who's incredibly good on a lot of the ones. You see the hidden one getting 6th individual score, the Hard Rock one getting the 11th individual score. And so this team is going to be very strong on some of the aim picks, especially. Let's move on to seed number 12. We have got, I'm actually crying right now, and some very solid players on this team. You have got Ophiz as well as Ohio putting up very strong scores. They were 8th on the Nomad 2, getting 5th on the Hidden 3, and then some decent DT scores, but this feels like a more consistent team. We don't necessarily see any super high team scores. You see but you don't see anything super low either, right? They're fairly consistent, fairly well-rounded, and they're not going to be easy to pick against, that's for sure.
Yeah, as well as Posky won the absolute player, should be the speed player here, getting some underperformances on the DT2 and the DT3, but yeah, pretty solid performance. 20th by Ohio, as you said, going to be the main carry as well as Opus as well. But yeah, nothing else to say about this team, and it's straight into our seed 11. Together, we are terrific. We have some very confident Canadian players as well as Birchman being 58th on this as well, and a little bit of good carries from Tisfuri and Pez with a FC, possibly an FC, maybe choke on that number one, but seventh placement on that number one, as well as a seventh team score on that number one as well, and number two being pretty solid, as well as Tisfuri getting an 88.6k on the number two with his team score of number 9. A lot of these team scores on the number ones are in the 1 digits, except for number 3, the ult being a very weak aspect for this team. But for the hiddens, a little bit of average here, 6th to 14th. Hard Rock placements, 8th to 22, and DT 1s, DT 2s being 5, 6th placements are pretty solid, bringing this team's seeding to 11.
Yeah, this team is an absolutely insane kind of tapping speed team. All of the DTs they are going to be insanely good on. I mean, Pez, Pikapon, even Arco is an incredibly strong DT player. And then, of course, you have Birchman, who's been absolutely tearing up the Canadian tournament scene lately. I believe recently won it was not an open rank, but it was it might have been a 4-digit Canadian tournament. I don't recall exactly. But yeah, some very solid players on this team. We are now approaching our top 10 teams here, and in 10th place, we've got All In, Inaki, and some notable names. Suntan, absolutely popping off. 5th individual. And I mean, just as a reminder, guys, this is a very big open rank tournament that's like full of the world's best players. Many of which who are, consistently winning the open rank tournaments. And it is Suntan at 5th overall individual. This is not quite a full Chilean team. I believe everybody is Chilean aside from Batball, the American. But I will double check that in a moment. There are a lot of big name players. Actually, most of these, I think at least 4 of these players, maybe 5, were on the Chilean OWC team. Notable scores: 5th on No Mod 3, 6th on Hidden 1, 5th on Hidden 2, and some decent DT scores as well. 3rd on DT2, 5th on DT3. That is a big top 10 score. Unfortunately, I have no clue what happened, but number 30 on the No Mod 1 is really going to tank their seeding. They were actually incredibly close, 0.03 Z-sum score behind the 2 teams ahead of them, and like I think 6 behind the team above that. So if they didn't int the No Mod 1, realistically, they would be seed 7 most likely. So definitely an underseeded team here, and actually I'll let you talk about them while I verify that it's mostly Chilean players.
We're going to seed 9.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so after the seed 10, straight into our 1-digit seeded teams, we have Ryu Nation. We have some very formidable players, a lot of all good rounders, as well as Nathan Ram from the Philippines getting an 11th placement for the team, getting a 7th placement of 567k on that Noma 4, as well as some incredible Hidden 3 and Hard Rock 1 scores, and some very really good scores to just bring their qualifier seed just a little bit higher than they should have. But great team scores for Noma 1, Noma 2, as well as Noma 4, and as well as that Hidden 1 getting top 3, 3rd place for our team scores in the Hidden 1. A lot of great plays, as well as that Hard Rock 3 team score, number 5th on that thing. Taro and Ryu being amazing players for these team, and just excited to see how they play out in this bracket stage.
Yeah, this is another team that very easily could have been up to that 7th seed. Nathan Ram, especially even going back to the OWC, has just been on an absolute tear over the past half a year, has really stepped up, has been improving incredibly rapidly. And you look at that Hard Rock 3 score, it's the Hard Rock 2, number 33. Again, if they had played decently on the Hard Rock 2, they're probably seed 7. But very notably, they were without Kama, who is one of the best Hard Rock players in the game right now. Insanely good on Hard Rock, insanely good on the aim control. And so the fact that they still got 5th on the Hard Rock 1 and the Hard Rock 3 without Kama, who's probably their best Hard Rock player, is just absolutely insane. I think you almost have to ban Hard Rock against this team. There's no other ban that makes sense against them unless you really can't play something else. But this is just a really well-rounded team. You know, you have players like Rhythmic RS for the and Gaby for the reading. You have Kama Tallulah to round out the HR. You have players like Taro for some of the faster picks, Laser for the nomads. And this is going to be a tough team to beat. And I think from here on out, there are a lot of very strong players on these teams. I mean, top 10 really is just full of absolutely insane teams. So let's move on to seed number 8. It is going to be Swag Lords. This is another Canadian team, and this is a team that has played together quite a lot. We have got Sari, Desperate, Non-Cycle Gentle Bender, Spicy, and honestly, I feel like in past tournaments these teams have played, it really has been Desperate who has been putting in so much of the work and who has been consistently one of the better performers in the Canadian roster. Whereas this time around, it's actually pretty well rounded. It's nice to see other players stepping up. Is something like that. We're good, Exia?
Not yet.
Oh. All right.
There we go.
Let me rejoin quickly.
It's good now. It's good now.
Okay. We're good. All right. Anyways, yeah. Spicy has been a player that is a little bit newer to the tournament scene, but I think has been hyped quite a bit as you know, one of the up-and-coming stars in the Canadian tournament scene. But let's talk about some of their scores. 4th on the Nomad 2. Unfortunately, did struggle quite a bit on that Nomad 4, getting a little bit lower. They had some very strong Hard Rocks 4th and 6th on Hard Rocks 2 and 3, and some very good DT scores all around. And this is a pretty well-rounded team. They obviously have a few really strong Hard Rock scores, but they have the players to play the hidden. They have okay speed, and they're going to be able to strong on most of the nomads.
Yeah, it's an incredible team. But now, as we get closer to the top seeds, to reveal our seed 7, we got Tidal Wave, the Geometry Dash level. Incredible scores from Kurumi and as well as Nyash. You have 2 missing players, Vitor Skull and Hilu. But if you got those players, you see would probably be higher. But the team score and the average for all of these team Noma 1s, as in like hidden ones, very solid, as you can have an FC by Utzap at 956k at an individual score of 6, and number 3, third in Noma 1 team score. That's incredible to see, as well as some incredible DT1 team score, 1 FC from an individual of 2 from Nyash here. So getting that team score up to 3 million to get themselves over that 3rd place mark and cement themselves as the 7th seed here. But if you had Hulu and Vitor Skill playing, you probably had a little bit of a higher seeding, possibly overtaking some of these formidable top seeds here.
Yeah, I want to call out Nyash getting the 2nd best score on DT1 with a very impressive FC, as well as DSDWQDF getting the 2nd best score on the DT3. So this team is going to be one of the scariest DT teams in the tournament, and it's another full Brazilian team. And so it's cool to see a lot of the Brazilian players placing so highly. Of course, we have Tidal Wave, and we had the other half Brazilian team. It was Caramba Chile placing 13th. So a lot of Brazilian players really stepping up so far in this tournament. And just as a reminder, before we move on to seed number 6, the Mappool showcase will be shortly after this. And of course, all the qualifier results will be up on the main sheet immediately after this stream. So let's get into the top 6. Here we go. It is going to be Grease Monkey. This is a team that is, I feel like, fairly well known. There have been many iterations of Grease Monkey, but notably, Bunny Like Money with a crazy performance, 9th individual overall. But you've got lots of other strong players who have played together quite a bit. Melvert, Yokespy, and Andros, some notable ones. This is a team that has very, very strong tapping, getting 3rd overall on the Nomad 2, thanks to Bunny Like Money top scoring the Nomad 2. I believe that was the only Nomad 2 FC, or maybe the only one aside from Malashevsky. Otherwise, did struggle a little bit on the Hidden 3, unfortunately, getting 17th. But some very strong DT2 score as well on that speed pick, second overall. But this team has kind of everything. Yes, they performed a little bit worse on some of the hard rocks, but you've got Bunny Like Money, Melver, players like Hunter and Penguin Z for tapping. You've got Yokespie Andros for some of the aim reading picks. And so this is going to be a fun team to watch.
Incredibly fun team to watch, and I just shout out just Bunny Like Money. It's like this performance is absolutely crazy for the amount of stuff that he's doing for this team, as well as just some carry players from Melver, Yokes, and Penguin as well.
Yeah, Yokespie also had the best Hidden 2 score. Actually, we had 0 FCs on the Hidden 2, but Yokespie was the top scorer on a RO32 guy. I think Yokespie is very well known, has been around the tournament scene for a very long time, absolute veteran, and has just one of the best at low AR picks. Number 5, Exia, take it away.
Number 5, and as we get to these huger numbers, Financial Advisors, they're going to show how much money they just made from this qualifiers seed here with the 5th seed. Bashi Man with a good score overall over through the entire tournament of the qualifier map pool, but RO32 number 4th on the incredibly difficult tech map or alt map. Can't recall which one it is, but incredible score there for number 4th. But you have some other players such as Jackson, You're Cute, Twilight, One Tabby. All of these players are just so comfortable in their own skill sets that there isn't really any weaknesses. The only weaknesses I really see are like mechanics such as Nomad 2, a little bit of underscoring from 4 of the players that played that map, as well as some of the DTs. DT1 being a huge tank for them, as well as DT2, but some individual scores that could have been higher, could have made their seed just a little bit higher. But yeah, incredible team, Financial Advisors. Good luck to you in the future of this tournament.
Yeah, this is a full American team, and lots. I mean, honestly, some of the best American players on this team. There's certainly no shortage of American players. But if you watch a tournament like the U.S. Open, which is actually in registrations right now, so you'll see that shortly. Some of the biggest names that play in the U.S. Open are, of course, Jackson, You're Cute, Flash Show, Bashi, even actually I'm not sure if RNG is playing this year. I know he's in chat, so RNG can confirm whether or not they're playing US States Cup this year. But I mean, these are all players that have had a ton of success in some of those United States tournaments, and even in the open rank, these players are consistently in the top 10. And yeah, okay, RNG is playing again this year. I didn't see that name on the sheet, but yeah, check out the US Open if you want to see all these players compete and go far in that tournament. But let's move on to number 4, the team that didn't quite make it into the top 3, but still very impressive performance nonetheless. It is going to be Bobik. I think this is, we see quite a few Russian players on this team, but I don't believe it is a full Russian team. I will go ahead and verify quickly. Yeah, so you've got 3 Russian players, but then you've also got the Ukrainian, a couple Spanish players, as well as Jack Pax is from Greece. But some solid scores overall. Bit of a struggle on the Nomad 4, 14th. It's still a very solid score, but just a little bit lower than everything else. The Hiddens were very strong, very consistent across the board. And the Hard Rocks were absolutely crazy for this team. 3rd on the Hard Rock 1 and 3. 2nd on the DT3. And really solid scores on the other DTs as well. You have Welter and Scroll getting 12th and 19th. Notably, Rap GPO did not play, who is an incredibly talented aim player, but can play most things, really. Of course, Antonio, another very solid aim player for this team. And it's actually a pretty well-rounded team overall. There's not like one player that they're relying on to carry them. They can play pretty much everything. I think speed is going to turn out to be a very good pick for this team, of course, as well as the Hard Rocks. I mean, Scroll and Welter are a very tough duo to go up against.
Yeah, incredible team here, but yeah, just the duo Scrowell and Welter. You're just gonna have to watch out if you're against this team. I believe C29th is going against them, but yeah, So as we get into the top three, we're gonna see how much these players are a little bit further from each other. But C3, NRG Finesse, we have Filipinos, we got Canadians, we got Chinese players, we have everything that you want. But we got Henry with number 6 individual, Secret Box number 4 individual. We have some underperformances from the bottom 4, but not to worry. You have these 2 incredible carries, such as a Secret Box getting 2 FCs in a row with the Nomad 1 and the Nomad 2, which is incredible, as well as one of the only 3 FCs on that map, but is going to fall a little bit short into the Hard Rocks, as the Hard Rock scores getting a little bit high seeded, as Hard Rock 3 is 11 seeded, but their DTs are formidable. DT1, such a great team score, number 4. DT3 and DT2 falling off a little bit short, but those maps are difficult as heck. And just a incredible Nomad average here from like seed 4 to seed 2 on Nomad 1, Nomad 2, Nomad 3, Nomad 4. So other hiddens, as well as hidden 2. A little bit 400Ks across the board for that hidden 2, but not to worry. That hidden 2 was incredibly difficult, so we'll see that low AR scores get a little bit increased when they get their primary players. But ReUK, being an absent player on this roster, did tank a little bit of the scores, as well as their DTs, and some of the speed maps did really tank some of their team scores.
Yeah, Energy Finesse actually beating out Phobic, the 4th seeded team, by 0.02 in the Z-Sun score. So it was incredibly close between the 3rd and 4th team. And interestingly enough, there's actually a pretty decent gap looking at the 3rd and 4th teams versus the number 5 teams. So it feels like this the 3rd and 4th seeded teams, Phobic and Energy Finesse, are almost like, you know, a tier above the 5th seed and below. Like you said, ReUK missing definitely hurt them quite a bit. He is one of the big carry players for this team. And yes, they got number 7th on DT2, which is already a very good score. But don't be mistaken. I think throughout this tournament, this is going to be, I mean, on paper, this speed roster is just absolutely insane. Between Henry, Secret Box, and ReUK, even like Athantrix, who can play some of these earlier stage speed maps incredibly well, I don't think there's many teams, if any, that can compete against them in speed. I have to give a shout out to Henry as well, who placed recently 3rd place in Corsace Closed with a really impressive performance. And I mean, even individual scores were very impressive across the board. They got a lot of 4th place individual scores for Henry, was 4th individual on Nomad 3, 4, and the Hidden 3. Really enjoying the 4th place. Even Secret Box had 2 4th place, as well as the 2nd best score on DT2 and the 3rd best score on Nomad 2. Now, Axia, we have got 2 teams left. And I think anyone who has looked at the main sheet, looked at the teams who've registered for the tournament, who can guess what this is. I already mentioned how there's a pretty decent qualifying gap between teams 3 and 4 and teams 5 and below, being, you know, about a 0.1 or a 0.7 difference. The gap between 1 and 2 and everyone below them is absolutely massive. So team number 3 to team number 2, before we switch over and I reveal the 2nd placing team, is, like you said, Exia, 0.2. Absolutely insane how strong these top 2 teams are. So let's take a look. In 2nd place, we have got, fresh off the boat, some insanely talented players all around. This team is absolutely stacked. You have got the team captain, Hydrogen Bomb, much better known as Rectigon, getting the 2nd individual performance. Really impressive stuff. Of course, you have Caleb, who is an incredible rating player, and Decaton, who has really made a name for himself in the Ultimate tournament scene over the past year. Very strong on the mechanics, especially some of the aim-focused picks. You then have Taquito, Window Life, and Kamenchik, which is like a disgusting speed roster, like just absolutely unbeatable. You then have Flying Tuna and MCY4 to round out your kind of aim control tech players. This team really has everything. They were 1st place on the Nomad 1, the Hard Rock 2, Hard Rock 3, and every single DT. This team is, without a doubt, the best DT team in the tournament. 3.7 million on the DT1 is absolutely crazy. Getting 3 scores above 850k. And then, of course, other notable scores. They were second on the Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 3, Hidden 1, No Mod 4. And they only had 3 maps where they placed below second on that No Mod 2, No Mod 3, and the Hidden 2. But this team can play just about everything. I mean, I think notable individual scores, you've got MCY4 getting the second best score on the No Mod 1, one of the few FCs there, and number 3 on the No Mod 4 and HD3. So this has been a really good qualifiers for MCY4 especially. And got to shout out Kamenchik as well, getting the top score on DT3. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that might have been the only DT3 FC from Kamenchik there.
DT3, that was not, it was not an FC.
Not
it was
quite,
an
there's
A-rank.
3 FCs.
Convention did not FCA. He either reverse choked or missed at the very end.
Somewhere.
But yeah, it's still an incredible score to look over as just 1.1 million, even with a miss, and still first in DT3 is just an incredible speed score for this entire team. Like you can never see, you can see this team and you can try to find any weaknesses out of this team, but it would be impossible to look through because every skill set covered so wonderfully. But Decathlon, if Decathlon was there for the qualifiers, maybe they could have overtaken the seed 1 that we are about to reveal. And I'm pretty sure every single person watching the stream knows what the seed 1 is. So as we get to that revelation or reveal for the seed 1 is Koto Miller. And what can you say about this roster? This roster has some of the best tournament players of all time. Malzeski being the badge, absolute demon, the best tournament player of all time, and as well as worst HR player, making an incredible name for himself as being making his name more ironic than ever. And iFlame, is there any more to talk about?
I mean, where to begin with this team? There is so many thoughts, Exia. You know, if I had, another hour, I could spend an hour talking about this team, but we don't have that long, so I'll keep it a little bit shorter.
3 do not plays.
I mean, let's start with the fact that they got first seed with 5 players. They didn't have Nineric, Mathy, Intercambing. That's like their entire speed roster. Like on any given speed pick, you're going to have Nineric, who's probably one of the fastest players in the game right now, as well as Mathy and Intercambing, with basically none of their 3 best speed players. They got 2nd on DT1, 4th on DT2, and 11th on DT3, which is insanely impressive. They got the best score on No Mod 2 all the way through Hard Rock 1, and of course getting 2nd on Hard Rock 2 through DT1 and on No Mod 1. But yeah, like you mentioned, Malashevsky, probably without a doubt, best tournament player in the world right now, recently won Corsace Open. And you've got worst HR player, who was 2nd place in that Corsace Open tournament, who's making a case right now for 2nd best tournament player in the world. I think it's pretty... there's definitely a debate between worst HR player and Emrek. And then, of course, you've got Kriller, top 6 at that same tournament, was 4th, I believe, number 8th individual. You've got Nahus and Tomas Sheik, who can play some of the more in-control focused picks incredibly well. I think Tomas Sheik is going to be in for some of the DT picks, as well as maybe some of the tapping no mods. Intercambing, Mathy, this is the Chilean duo that take over every single year in the OSU World Cup for Chile. And I mean, let's talk about the individual performance, because I think it's surprising no one, Malashevsky taking the first spot. But what is not necessarily surprising, but it never gets less impressive to me, is just how far ahead of everybody else Malashevsky is. Taking a look at these performance scores, the 2nd best performer in qualifiers was Rectigon, with an individual performance of 2.911, followed up by worst HR player, number 3, with a individual performance of 2.785. Malashevsky's individual performance score, 3.384. Nearly a full half a P score ahead of everybody else in the tournament. I think Malashevsky, I will double check, had the best score on. Let's do it. Let's do a quick count. That's 4, 5, 6, 6 different maps in qualifiers. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, like this player is just an unreal, a specimen from another world. He's just an entity that you have to deal with in every single tournament to get that trophy. But he is just a giant wall in front of every tournament player's dream to get an open rank win. But yeah. And as we close out this seed reveal, we have round of 32 Mappool showcase coming right after this. Thank you for everyone that wanted to see their seed be revealed. Congratulations to the top 32 teams that are going to be competing against each other in this incredible bracket stage that we have built up for you guys, as well as these amazing maps that are going to be custom, as well as some custom songs coming through sometimes. But yeah, just to close out things, you have anything else to say, iFlame?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is going to be the team to beat, but there are a lot of good teams in this tournament that can make waves, and it's going to be a fun one, especially in the earlier rounds. So, huge thank you to Exia for joining me today for this seed reveal. I know you're going to be sticking around for the Mappool showcase. I'm going to be taking off, so Exia will be joined by somebody else. But a huge thank you to Hoaq for the stream. And thank you all for watching. Of course, once again, the qualifier results are going to be out on the sheet very shortly. I'm not sure if they're going to be out like
They're going to be
right after the seed reveal, probably after the
showcases.
round of 32 showcase. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. We are going to be right back with the round of 32 Mappool showcase. Stay tuned for that. That pool is an absolute banger. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.
Okay, ready. Hello, everybody. Wait, am I muted?
No,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right, welcome everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Resurrection Cup 2024 stream. We just got done our qualifiers reveal, and we are ready to unreveal the action and gauntlets that these players are gonna go through in the round of 32 pool. I am still joined with iFlame and also with the hardworking host Pharrell. How are you guys doing?
Excited.
Yeah, I'm here for a good 20 minutes, so I'll join for the no mod pool before I take off. But for real, I'll let you get us started because as the host.
I sure have some words to share. All right. So first of all, as like a general thing about also like about the qualifiers pool and like for every single other custom map that we have, we a little insight how they were actually like play tested and taken care of. We divided every single mapper into a division, and each division was supervised by an experienced either mapper or already a tournament map pooler. And I have to say, hard work does pay off, and you every single one of you in chat will just absolutely be blown away by just this pool, what we have to just reveal.
Yeah, like incredible maps are coming through. We got some incredible customs coming through, as well as our. We're gonna start with Noma 1 soon, but anything else to say before we get straight into it?
Let's take it away. No mod
Take it
1.
away.
So we have a first custom song
Map.
by our map customs. I am stupid. I just called it a custom song. Okay, well, Noma 1 custom map. Oh.
No.
Anyways, with custom Noma 1 by Bad Boy, replayed by Rundi. So we have some incredible maps here. King Tamaran Inaba Tan. Feature rope pan with that difficulty name. But yeah, Noma 1's consistency is going to be just the general focus of this. A little bit of doubles, a little bit there. But with the consistency that we have been showcasing through the qualifier map that we've had, that players went through, still going to be the same. A little bit of a lower star rating since we're in the round of 32. But generally just simple consistency.
Yeah, despite the title, it is not actually Hard Rock 2. But as for the stats, it is going to be CS4 at 4 minutes in length, AR 9.3, and OD 9.1. Hopefully we can get those up on the screen shortly. But I mean, it seems like a pretty standard no mod 1. There are some pretty interesting triangle patterns that are going to be pretty tricky, as well as a cross screen there that could catch people out. It is only 6.62 stars, so I feel like for an open rank tournament, it's actually relatively low star rating, considering some of the teams we have.
I like our whole X solution to this. Sorry. So yeah, this is definitely not HR2. Let's get that straight.
They put the Nomad 1 with the black bar as an improvisation. Yo!
Okay, so originally this song came up as a kind of a joke of an idea from Aden, but we were like, yo, that's just fire. Can you actually do that? And he was like, yeah. So he got Ropan to collab, and somehow we made it work. And I have to say, I'm quite proud of this Nomad 1, even though I had practically nothing to do with it, because Arden is not in my my mapping division. But this map is just I'm at loss of words for this.
Incredible mapping skills just for the customs. Just all these all these mappers, not players, are just working together, making some incredible customs for this tournament. The quality of this is so much better. and just like we just have such a good working team and such a good working host just to ensure everything and the quality is perfect as it should be. But with the Nomad 1, you can see just the general pattern with this Nomad 1, a little bit of the same stuff. You can see some of these triangle patterns that are really appearing. That square jump going to catch up people, but yeah, most of these triangle jumps are going to be the main aspect of this Nomad 1.
There's quite a few of the 1-2s as well to trip people up towards the ending. The ending definitely looking like the hardest part of the map, and even though the Nomad 1 is 6.6 as star rating, it definitely is not quite that easy. I feel like the general difficulty, Burl, you can correct me if you disagree, but I feel like just looking at the pool, it's like roughly a 6.8, 6.9 level difficulty overall.
Average, yeah, I would say so. But it's mainly, well, 6.8 is probably gonna be the closest one, like the closest guess. To be fair, this Nomad 1 is incredibly spaced solely because of the BPM. You don't necessarily see 180 BPM for like in open rank tournaments unless they are like really burst heavy or perhaps even streamy. But this one isn't. This is just pure aim.
See, I want to know, are we getting 9 stars in Grand Finals?
I have to disappoint you. I don't think we have a 9-star this time.
This is
not even the TB.
Nah. Anyways, with Nomad 1 closing up, everyone, all the consistent players are happy that they have this map to go through, and the Nomad 1 alerts are surely to come through. But Nomad 2, not a custom, but a pretty famous map and a pretty famous song amongst the OSU community. We have Nomad 2.
Lose in it. Just kidding. It's for fun.
Oh!
So Verflux. A little bit backstory about this Nomad 2. Originally, Verflux was supposed to be a custom map for ResCup 2022, so 2 iterations before this. But ultimately, it ended up being vetoed. I'm actually not. I don't remember for what reason. But this pool needed, because of like the other picks, this pool really needed this kind of, I would say, quote-unquote gimmicky Nomad 2 that is still focused on flow aim, but because of its short drain time, this really had to be like, it had to be spiced up.
You can already see the spiced up patterns on these flow patterns. A lot of weird shapes to go through. Accelerating and deaccelerating streams to spice up your Nomad 2 delight. And see just how much spice up that Pharrell was talking about for this Nomad 2. You see that square flow patterns that are just coming in, going to destroy your combo, note lock you up, and get your score down to 200k. But yeah, this Nomad 2 is going to destroy a couple of players that aren't comfortable with flow aim.
Yeah, that pattern right before the break is deceptively difficult. It's only a few notes, but it's pretty easy to miss on. And you see, as we get into the map, the pattern just get harder and harder. That halfway point is probably one of the biggest spikes in the map, aside from the ending. But at 180 BPM, it is actually going to be incredibly comfortable in terms of stamina. The big challenge, like you guys have mentioned, is that aim control aspect. The streams have some very unusual angles, some very sharp cuts, and you see it only continues to get harder. You have basically a 180 there on that stream pattern, and at 1 minute and 50 seconds, it's not super long, but there are just so many places to miss. And I think, as you mentioned, Exia, if you find one miss at the start, it's very easy to chain miss the rest of the stream.
Oh, that's Nomad 2 with Alveria making that map, but mispronouncing names because I'm good at that. But Nomad 3, straight into the Nomad 3, we have Intersection. Neon Bright loves the difficulty name, and it's a pretty good map, I say so myself. And it is another custom, I believe, right, Pharrell?
This is indeed a custom map, and it's also the debut of Judge first. So Judge, I believe Judge has never done a tournament map before, and I'm pretty sure this was the second one he has done for ResCup. There is gonna be one more, but I'm not gonna spoil where that is. But yeah, this is a Judge map, and you know how absolutely like hosts are just starving for like mappers like who have never done a tournament map but are experienced enough to actually do customs. And holy moly, this was such an insanely good surprise.
Yeah, I mean, It looks like he absolutely nailed it. This is
He cooked.
145 BPM, so pretty standard BPM for an alt pick. And it's going to be a little bit of a snappier aim pick. There are some very tricky aim control patterns like that one we just saw, where the spacing gets a fair bit higher, and those are going to be the points where we're going to see misses. But the map as a whole is relatively snappy. I would say fairly consistent as well. There's definitely spikes in the KI sections as well as right at the end of the KIs. There are very tricky patterns, but the spikes aren't like crazy compared to the rest of the map.
Yeah.
I also have to say, we toned down the difficulty of Nomad 3s altogether in every single pool compared to last year, because like last year, we got the statistics right. Each stage we actually got like every single stat from like every single match, and unfortunately, it has always become like evident that yeah, Nomad 3 was just literally on the same level as HD2 in terms of like team scores, and we were like, okay, that something is not right. Like the Nomad 3 is probably not, it shouldn't be like as high star rating as they were. So yeah, this compared to last year's round of 32 Nomad 3, this is 0.5 stars lower.
Yeah.
Such a good song, such a fun looking map, and the kind of map that has room for lots of breaks that makes for exciting matches.
Yeah. Even if you're just a viewer of the stream or have been eliminated from the tournament, still give these pools a chance, give them out a try, support the mappers that have made these customs with their hard work and knowledge of mapping. But yeah, and I think these Nomad 3 difficulty scalings, as we just had to nerf a lot of them, is a step in the right direction to get some of these scores a little bit higher as they're supposed to. And just we're going to see some incredible scores in the future for these Nomad 3s now. And yeah, we can see at the KIs that you have some incredibly spaced thirds, as well as some jumps on the alt 1/3 that you have to hit correctly. Unless you don't want that FC, just don't even practice. But yeah, incredible map. I think everyone's going to love this map as they're going to be playing, as well as practicing. Nothing to be mad about this map. No frustration comes out of this difficulty, but yeah, incredible Nomad 3 here.
To Rundy, by the way, who I did the replay for this map, and I believe did a bunch, or I imagine did a bunch of the replays for the round of 32 pool. But Nomad 4.
Yeah, Randy has been hard carrying the replays for quite some time now.
We appreciate you, Rundy.
So Nomad 4. Now, for some reason, and I really don't understand why, I think this song is amazing. Like, I genuinely would, like, this is something that I would actually listen to. But many people don't like this song, and I'm confused as to why. I believe this this song had ranked sets, like sometime maybe like half a year ago, or maybe even a year ago. I'm not too sure. But this is a Humerios tech, which is actually becoming more common nowadays. Which I'm really glad, because Humerios is actually really good at tech. So I'm honestly all in for just these tech picks from Humerios. And yeah, this is on the relatively shorter end as well, right? Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 27 seconds on in terms of drain time.
Yeah, it seems like a bit more of a kind of finger control tech pick. As I say that, we get into a slider section, so we've got our slider tech in as well, and this is going to be a pretty big spike in the map, and you have to be really careful on some of those earlier slider streams as well. But yeah, some of these patterns are getting pretty crazy in this section. I mean, to be clear, I have not seen any of these maps beforehand, so I am seeing them live as well, and yeah, that middle section looks rough.
Yeah, a lot of your combo is going to drop from that section, but if you're able to FC the beginning towards that middle section and obtain that FC and hold it, a lot of score will be obtained, as some of these sections after that middle section, free combo for some of these players. But still, you got to stay a little focused. Some of these sliders can eventually get you off the combo and potentially tank your score and just score cap you incredibly large with these cut streams, these flow aim patterns. But back into a lot of the slider ends, some of these velocity changes do account for you to hit your slider ends properly. but as the middle section comes back, you can already see how the sliders are working, how our mappers did map these to be accordingly adjusted to the No Mod 4 difficulty. But yeah, incredible map to have for our round of 32 No Mod 4.
Yeah. See, I think the song it's okay. It's not amazing. It's not the worst, but the map it is very well mapped. I'll have to give it that for sure. And that is going to be it for our No Mod 4. And as the No Mod 4 comes to an end, so does my time here on this Mappool showcase. I've got to take off, but I'm going to leave you all in good hands. As Axia and Friel will take you guys through the rest of the Mappool showcase. I hope you all enjoy the pool.
Thank you for joining, iFlame.
Anytime.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Well, next up we have HD1, which is gonna be another debut. I'm pretty sure Kesti's first. Wait, was this? Oh yeah, this was actually Kesti's first tournament map. And what I can say about this is the same as Judge. In fact, when I contacted Kesti for custom mapping, I'm pretty sure he recommended me Judge as well. And I was like, holy shit, no way! 2 mappers, experienced enough to make customs? Oh, free!
Absolutely
insane.
Free mapping. Well, I can already see what the hidden one is going to bring. Your awkward aim speciality. Now, as a not a hidden player myself, it's going to be incredibly difficult for these non-hidden players to be able to hit these patterns, because hidden and the reading required for some of these awkward patterns, as well as some of the flow being accelerating and deaccelerating, some a bit of it. But yeah, these jumps and these little bit of streams here are going to cut off some players because of the reading and the awkwardness of these 1-2s we can already see. But yeah, the awkward aim aspect going to be primarily in this hidden one, and for probably the rest of the map pools to come.
Honestly, you're gonna see a pattern, because like, just keep. I'm pretty sure you should, as the viewer of the stream, just keep in mind this custom map from Casti. Just keep in mind. Just do that. Just do that.
We're keeping it in your mental pocket.
But yeah, this is kind of like a standard awkward aim pick. That is, well, I mean, it is a band-made song, to be honest. Like, okay, so there's not much to say about this really. It's still on the easier side. I feel like in the entire pool. In terms of aim, I believe either this or HR1 that we are gonna see is gonna be the easiest maps in the pool, but this could be biased because I'm primarily an HR player myself, so I'm not too sure if my opinion counts for HR1, but I believe HD1 is still on the relatively easier side. This HD1 is actually kinda hard. Oh, well. Ignore what I said then.
Yeah,
Oopsie.
One is pretty hard actually. Yeah, but the combo, yeah, all the combo breaks are gonna come up from like most of the last half of this map, as some of the awkward aim for the last half is just a little bit more awkward or a little bit more just unhinged than the beginning of this map. But for these hidden one players, for your hidden players, they're going to be extremely comfortable on this map with these 1-2s that are pretty close to each other, and then it ranges all the way to a cross-screen jump. Going to be determining if you're going to get that FC or you're not going to get the FC. Some of these doubles going to throw off some of the reading of this map. But yeah, hidden one closed, and that is a good custom from Castalia.
Moving on, we have HD2, which yeah, this. Oh.
Bro does not have a replay.
Oh. Well. Hoek, that's.
Oh.
One moment.
Give us one moment as we try to dig for our hidden 2 replay, but we can't say anything yet, bro. Dude, the low AR is like, we can't read it, bro. We can't find the map.
Give me one moment.
All right, guys, due to technical difficulties, we have decided to have only one hidden map in the pool. It is still bannable, so if you want to use your one ban on the hidden one, you can get rid of the whole entire hidden pool in one ban. Right now.
Don't worry, we got it.
We got it. All right, hidden 2. We're going into the menu. And we still don't have it, guys. We might have to make this guy play the map.
Dude. Is this real? Like, that's literally the same map. That's literally what Knight.
Are we putting on auto? All right.
No, wait. Quick. Knight is pinging you 3 times in internal.
Whoever wants to
It
live
should
play
work.
right now,
I don't get this.
they won.
Yeah, don't update. There we go. So HD2. Insane.
All right, guys, we have hidden 2. So we decided to add the hidden 2 back again. Yippee! Anyways, anything general about this hidden 2 here, bro?
It's a new map, as you can tell. It's a new map.
Yeah.
It's not a custom, unfortunately, but it was uploaded really recently. But it's a finished guest difficulty for a Hollow Wings set, and yeah, it's not being updated anymore. But you know, when a set's metadata actually is being updated, such as tags and all that, it just lets you like update the map. So don't worry about it. This guest difficulty is not going to be changed. But yeah, that's why we kind of struggled. But yeah, that should be it. About the reading aspect of this, we tried getting something that has a teeny tiny, just a glimmer of flowing. Well, I mean, it has some. Okay, well, it has flow aim. But yeah, this is extremely reading heavy, as you would guess from an HG2. I mean, to be fair, many people don't really like when the HG2 is CS5, because like usually when the stats are like CS5 and AR8, you would see them in like anti-mod slots, so maybe free mod, or perhaps even HR2, but where like the AR doesn't actually matter all that much. But yeah, I mean, this HD2 is, if I were to play this, I would say this is really close in terms of like density to like the Qualifiers HD2. But because of the BPM, I mean, this is definitely easier, fitting for a round of 32 pool.
Yeah, I mean, the hidden 2, the density, like, you're gonna have to require for these reading maps are going to be incredibly difficult. But for the low AR enthusiasts in this stream right now, you're going to be enjoying this map. But down with the hidden maps and down with the no-mod maps, we're going straight into Hard Rocks now. So Hard Rock 1 is going to be
a custom.
Not a custom. It's a custom. Yeah, it's a custom.
It is a custom. So this is it's only 2 minutes indeed.
Talk faster.
Talk faster. Okay. This is a Blue Archive song, and it's a metal cover. Thank you, Ducky, for the amazing beat map.
I said metal. It's fire.
Oh,
liking
it is
this.
on like a lower BPM range because it is 170, and yeah, this is just pure aim, bro. This has.
I mean, for the star rating to be this high on the 6.6, low BPM requires some very cross-screen jumps, and we can already see that in the key eyes here. But a little bit of a leeway in some of these resting sections as we see the guitar is just cooling down a little bit more, getting to an acoustic feel. But as soon as we get into the key eye, probably right here, never mind, it's a break. I lied to all of you.
Well, the Kia is gonna be after this break, shortly, which is gonna be either. I think it's gonna be not really a diff spike, so not a significant change in spacing, but it is, as you would expect, because of the song's intensity being changed. It is gonna be a little bit higher overall in terms of spacing.
We can already see how much screen cross jumps and how difficult this map is, considering Rundi is having a little bit of difficulty on this consistency Hard Rock 1 map. And I think a lot of these players are going to be exceptionally scared of this map, possibly some bans coming out for this consistency map, as this is just pure aim, as you said. But as we close out the map, a lot of things to account for. Some of these little bit of weird burst, as he just missed right there. A little bit of a weird flow burst after the break, before that second ki. But yeah, this is incredible Hard Rock 1. Now, but now in every OSA tournament Mappool showcase, we got some great things to reveal.
Yeah, well, it is that time. It is that time that we.
It is, yeah.
So you've already heard the stream background music, which is a custom song, but we should pick it up and showcase the second custom song that will appear in ResCup. And I highly advise you to pay attention to the animation and try to guess what the overall pattern is and what we have in storage for you guys. So
yeah,
enjoy.
So in tradition for these great things, for to honor the amazing hardworking people, we will be muted for the next minutes as we have great things to reveal. Let's go.
Oh, we are back. Are we?
Hey, we're back. We're back.
We're back. So the first custom song by Pitar124. Honestly, oh man, I would like showcasing these amazing custom songs is literally like bringing so much joy. This is literally why Mappool showcases nowadays are just absolutely fun and just worth doing. Thank you, Peter, for the custom song once again. And yeah, I'm speechless. This is Averia has done a really great job. And holy shit, watch my language.
Yeah, it's all good, but yeah, this Hard Rock 2 is just amazing to watch. A lot of these players and a lot of the viewers are very happy with the production that just came out with this Hard Rock 2. But enough with the Hard Rocks. It's done with the no mod hidden Hard Rock pools. Now we gotta go into everyone's favorite mod that gives them PP. It's DT, and straight into our DT1 we go.
So DT1, this is not a custom, and I actually have. I believe, like, the problem with myself and the DT slots is that I'm pretty sure. So since we have a lot of Mappool quality assurance people and a lot of poolers as well, and also the playtesters could suggest songs. This map, I wouldn't exactly call it a farm map, but I could see people actually like having this as a top play. Because while it fits as a Torment while it fits as a DT1 pick, it's still like how am I supposed to phrase this? It's odd to an extent.
Yeah, but well, in DT1 fashion, of course, you're gonna have your simple 10.3 AR maps, as well as your consistency notes that you have to hit. But you can already see how generic and how default these DT1s are. But of course, if you're not incredibly focused on DT1s, considering the AR is 10.3, as well as some OD10 going to screw up some people's accuracies, you are going to lose on some combo if you're not paying attention, or you don't have that reading skill for the 10.3 AR. But yeah, default as the DT1 is, it's an incredible map for the DT1s.
It's just straight up a 230, well 228, but a 230 BPM consistency check, which kind of complements the low-ish BPM altogether throughout the pool. As you know, Nomad 1 was 180, HR 1 was 170, and you know, usually when we are talking about DT1s, you would expect it to be like 250, perhaps even 260. But obviously, in the early stages, you're not supposed to do that because it's just it's not going to be a great choice.
Yeah, but the map's coming to a close. Our beautiful replayer Undy getting most of these replays, possibly every replay in this map pool. I'm pretty sure. But
nah, there's gonna be more. But yeah, Randy is definitely carrying this.
Here he is. Yeah, DT1 done and dusted with, but yeah, Dong Day. And now straight into our beautiful mechanics type DTs. Right into DT2, we have this is not a custom, but it's going to be Energy Synergy Matrix, but it's going to be on DT. So especially if anyone knows what this map is, generally in no mod, it's usually a tech map with a little bit of finger control. But imagine that on DT, and you're still going to have to go through some tech with the DT. And we can already see how showcased the finger control aspect, the doubles, the triples, the quads coming in, throwing fire at you, throwing finger little bits of difficult tribulations for these tapping players, and as well as a break from Rundy, showing how difficult this map is, as well as these spam sliders going to cut off a little bit of these players if you do not know the gist of this entire map.
I like how we are using Randy's slider break as like a basis for like, yeah, that's difficult. If Randy slider breaks, then yeah, that's probably difficult.
Yeah, but we got some good top players that can definitely FC this. But it's still especially difficult though for some of these players in the bracket stage currently.
I remember when I was like taking a look at the DT suggestions in the pooling sheet. I saw this and I checked how it played with DT, and I'm not sure who I was on voice with, but I was like, yo, this is just power Nocturnus, just easier. And they were like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. I mean,
what?
This is not power Nocturnus, but the patterns really feel like it is. But it's like -2 stars. So don't worry about it. This is not as difficult as the map I'm talking about.
But this final key eye going to be filled up with everything that we've seen in the beginning, in the mid, and the end game for this is just complete finger control and tech sliders. A lot of these mechanics players are going to enjoy this map, possibly aren't, but these slider ends are going to be missed, combos are going to be dropped. But yeah, and a wonderful DT2 to start off round of 32, and possibly the future of these DT2s as well.
Monstrous finger control, absolutely monstrous. And it's partially stamina as well. Like, just how long this is, even with DT. It's actually not that long, but it feels long.
2 minutes and 36 seconds is kind of long for some of these players. I mean, the stamina required for this, and your fingers are going to be tapping like the entire way through. You have the breaks to just recover from it, but yeah, this is mostly just tapping through the entire map. But down with the DT2, 2 out of 3 DT maps have been revealed. Straight into our DT3 we go, and we are going to have Lucky Cat, Choco. This map is a minute long.
This is indeed a minute long.
Go fast, go fast.
So Lucky Cat, I believe the top diff was used in Corsairs Closed recently. I'm pretty sure it was, and yeah, this finger control and speed, mostly speed, but. Dude, Lucky Cat.
We can actually see the snappy patterns coming through in that beginning sections. But yeah, 250 BPM streams. You got bursts. You got 9 bursts. Speed players are going to rejoice when playing this map. But yeah, the snappy aim required for this is actually a big requirement to be able to hit the FCs on this. So yeah.
Shout out to Glasswave, because this replay is actually an FC, by the way. Look at the accuracy.
Nah, he's on fire, bro. What are you talking about?
This, like, because of Lucky Cat, Lucky Cat has been going around for a while, mostly because of course it's closed. But this has been such a meme song, or in a meme set.
B-rank FC.
It is a B-rank FC.
This shit is fire. Anyways, down with the DTs, we have all the respective mod maps showcased and revealed. But now into our forced mod and our free mod maps. So let's take a look.
Only custom maps left, by the way. The second custom
Hard
map
Rock 2! Yeah!
again! Hard Rock 2 again! Let's go!
But yeah, Oral Cigarettes, Catch Me. It's such a banger band, such a banger song. Me personally, this is my favorite J-Rock band of all time. But yeah, we're gonna see the hidden players going to go through some of the awkward aim that this map has to offer. But this being at 6.58 for hidden, I'm not sure what this goes to with Hard Rock.
With Hard Rock, yeah, I have no idea either, because the stat sheet is just not going to display that. But as you can remember from last iteration, free mod isn't exactly free mod in ResCup's case. It is forced mod to some extent, because the free mod rules for ResCup is that one team has to have at least one HD and one HR. just plain. The remaining 2 players can be anything, right? So someone has to play this with just plain HD, and someone has to play this with plain HR. But yeah, if you remember what I said about HD1 when I told you Casty's anti-aim is on point with the tournament requirements for custom maps, this is another awkward name map from Casty, and yeah, this is just goated.
Yeah. Well, so with the Hard Rock players, we can already see what the Hard Rock players are going to be experiencing, as the aim is kind of a little bit difficult for the hidden players, but I think this favor hidden a little bit more since it's a little bit easier on the hidden side. But you can always see that, you know, these streams can catch up these hidden players, as that Prunzi almost got cut up as well. But you can see that the Hard Rock spacing for these streams are going to be a little bit more difficult than it is. I think the star rating might be around 6.8, 6.9, if I'm just guessing off the top of my head. But
yeah. We should get into that, because yeah, as I can see, the stats are also wrong on the overlay. So this map, if you are only counting HD, this map is CS 3.8 by default, and AR 9.2, and OD 9.2. So, well, depending on the spacing and how comfortable you are on 184 BPM, this, yeah, I agree, this could still favor HD more, since I believe HR works in a way, like if the AR is higher, then like if the AR is like on par with BPM, then it kind of becomes easier to read. But I could be wrong, because that's just how I experience HR over the past 3 years or so. But yeah, this I feel like this still is maybe just a little bit favoring HD more than HR.
Yep. Catch me, Oral Cigarettes. Thank you, Castalio, for this amazing custom map. But Fremont 1 done and dusted. Fremont 2 straight up right here, right now. And we have, I think, a speed map for mechanics players. But yeah, the circle size on this Fremont 2 going to be circle size 3. Pretty large. And I think the Hard Rock circle size will be 4.7 and 4.2. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, going to be considerably difficult for these hidden and Hard Rock players. It doesn't even matter, because it's still going to be favored towards both of these mods. But of course, Hard Rock going to be having that OD10, going to be contesting your accuracy along the way. I think the hidden players need to pop off a little bit on this map, but the Hard Rock players can also pop off on this map as well.
Although it does feature quite a fair bit of 1/3, and so it does feature quite a lot of 1/3, and also shoutouts to Zydorn, because this is a collab between Averia and Zydorn.
Amazing stuff being showcased here. But yeah, generally with this Fremont 2 mechanics players that are from the hidden part, yeah, we can already see a lot of the not the technical difficulties from the speed aspect do not come from flow, but they just come up from the reading. But 9.4 is very readable for hidden players, but we can already see how some of these snappy patterns, some of these snappy bursts can be. Linear patterns come through as well sometimes, but the Hard Rock players gonna have a blast on this. If you do not have that speed for it or the snappy aim for it, you're gonna have a bit of a tough time.
This is yeah. Speaking of accuracy, this is a far cry compared to Glasswave's DT3 replay score. A whole 15% higher.
How is this possible? It's like 13% higher. Anyways, yeah. So as we continue throughout the map, we can already see like the gist of the map. Very generic speed map. 1/3 is gonna pop off. A little bit of jumps that are gonna pop up as well. But yeah, very simple speed map for the Fremont 2 lovers. And is Fremont 2 going to be the speed slot for the Fremonts?
Since we are still following this kind of slot pooling, that yeah, Fremont 2 is always going to be the speed pick in in our map pools, as we are not going to have speed in Nomad anymore. So
But it looks like if Fremont 2 is the speed map, we're going to our destination for the anti-mods, possibly going to be the Fremont 3. Fremont 3. I'm
my
going to look
personal
on here.
favorite. Shout out to Aiden Kurashina Asuka. This person is absolutely goated. I was like, okay, so we need to start a trend. We are going to be a tournament that's biased towards Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai in general. And we did it. There's gonna be a lot of Honkai songs. And this
don't
is the
make me
first
cry.
one.
You're gonna make me cry, bro. Yeah. If you played the story before, you understand what the background is part of. But yeah, we're gonna make this theme a tradition in the Resurrection Cup 2024 map pools. But with this Fremont 3, we can already see that you have a little bit higher circle size than your simple Hard Rock 2. 5.2 circle size for those hidden players, but I think around 6.7, 6.8 circle size for those beautiful Hard Rock anti-mod lovers.
6.6 indeed, with HR at least. And yeah, this well, it is 160 BPM, 3 minutes long, and not all that spaced, even for HR.
And 3 minutes for an anti-mod map, pretty long, I would suppose. I usually see anti-mod maps for some reason at 2 minutes 30 seconds now, but 3 minutes, I think we're gonna standardize some lengths now. But 3 minutes, pretty good for an anti-mod map. We can already see the gist of this map being just a lot of consistency, a lot of slider kicks, but we can already see some of the new aspects coming through. And some bursts, some space bursts for your beautiful Hard Rock players. 160 BPM on this dev stream is actually going to be a lot of accuracy ruining potential for these Hard Rock players, as well as these hidden players that have to go through the low AR8 trenches for the hidden. But the Nomad players, or the 2 players that are left with the potential to go Nomad, or any mod they suppose they want to pick, could just pick through their skill set and just be able to FC these maps.
I also think because of the circle size, some players, I can see this being, because of the simplistic approach to the rhythm choice, I can really see some players actually attempting easy.
What's the easy multiplier?
In ResCup, I think it's 175, so we are quite high. But I could be wrong. It's been a while since I last checked easy, because last iteration, no one ever attempted easy. So
well, as we get to the end of the map, we are finished with the base pool of this round of 32 map pool showcase, and with tradition for the tiebreaker, we have amazing things to showcase. I'll take it away.
The grand highlight of Resurrection Cup 2024, round of 32, the tiebreaker. Wow.
I'm
Just,
mind blown.
just wow. The animation. Shout out to Chamberizing. Oh my god. This song, Ardolf, by the way, he's in chat. You know how long have we waited to actually release this? This was so much of a mega project. It involved how many? 6, 7 mappers? It's a mega collab between a ton of mappers, a ton of notable mappers. 9ME, Blacky Design, Numerios, Quantum Vortex, Jordan, Integer Tempest, and it's this and this as like the starting TB. No words, absolutely
You
no words.
also have to consider this is 2 out of the many custom songs that have yet to come, guys. The production scaling that we have just produced for all of these maps have just been incredible. Just everyone working together and just like, yeah, this TB to start off round 32 and to start off the bracket stage of many maps and more matches to come are just gonna be so incredibly mind-blowing. More extravaganzas coming soon.
Well, we are little over 2 hours, so I think this is the perfect time to call it a day. Thank you for watching this long stream, and thank you for bearing the delays, the starting delays. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, but we worked through it, and iFlame and Exio did an amazing job with the qualifiers results. And thank you, Exio, for joining this whole stream and this Mappool showcase with me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure commentating for this. I'm excited to see the future maps come through, and as well as everybody here. If you're part of this bracket stage, practice your maps. Do not sight read, because this pool is going to absolutely destroy you if you don't sight read. But anything else to say for before we close off?
Well, next up is obviously gonna be the bracket stage matches. And we are going to stream, well, we are going to try and stream a vast majority of the matches. So, yeah, I suppose the schedules will come out probably either tonight or tomorrow morning. Well, UTC morning. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of streams, hopefully. And see you guys next time.
Goodbye.